it can feel a little bit like a roller coaster when you're in a season in your life where you're like, I'm going to listen to my body, I'm going to listen to my intuition. And it can be challenging because, old habits can die hard, but at least they're going. At least we're going in the right direction. We're heading in the right place. Let's talk about it. We definitely have a tendency to, as people wanting to help and do more in the world, to say yes when we should say no, to push our bodies past our limits and our capacities, especially when it involves other people that we care about, and to to not listen to when we need care, when we need rest, when we need help, when we need to stop. We're like, go, go, go. And I know that one of the biggest trigger words that I know in my circles of friends, entrepreneurs, just other women, other moms, and even other couples we talk about is this idea of being lazy and laziness. It's such a freaking trigger. It's like, don't call me lazy, right? And we may have had moments as children where our parents may have said to us that we were being lazy or stop being lazy. And that probably plays a big part. Society plays a big part, whatever messages that we got around what resting meant, and if we're doing nothing then we're lazy, and what that means about us as a person. Because I feel like the wording isn't always, oh, you are being lazy in this moment, because that sounds clunky in the mouth and a lot of people aren't saying it that way, but it comes off as you are lazy. And then the idea that we would take that personally, that it would kind of be part of our character and something that we're, the scarlet L on our chest. You hear it enough times. And so we have a tendency to have a very uncomfortable relationship with the idea and the wording of being lazy. I know that I do. And then what's like, okay, so that if I don't want to be lazy, what's the opposite of lazy in your head? When you think about this is the opposite of being lazy, is that person that works really hard, that's always working, that's always on the go. And there's some people that are wired like that. I have very important people that I'm close to in my life who are wired to go, 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 who are wired to do more and to do so many multiple things and to do 5 things in a day and drive here and drive there. I would fall apart. I'm not wired that way. But we do think about, when we think about the opposite of lazy, I think that image comes to mind, what it is to be a hard worker, what it means to go, 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 what it means to never get up, what it means to push through. And what's challenging is that, I've said before, I live in the gray. The nuance of that is, yeah, sometimes we do have to push through things. Everything's not going to be comfortable. Everything's not going to be fun. We're not going to like everything, but we can still push through, and we can still try new things and test our limits to a certain extent. And so it's not black and white. It's not super easy to make the decision that I'm going to stand in what I need in this moment, or am I just afraid or uncomfortable with testing this particular limit? It's nuance, and I think our strongest asset is personal discernment in those moments, to say, okay, am I really listening to my body, or am I just afraid to make a move? When I think about myself, I definitely am in a season in my life where I'm striving to listen to my body. If my body said, "Oh, you need rest, girl," I'm striving to take that rest. I'm like, and not feel guilty about it. That part. Like, I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna rest. I'm not gonna do so much. If I did a lot on one day, I most likely need to chill out. I need a recovery day the next day. If I was running around on a day, and some people might find that lazy, but that is part of how I'm wired right now in this season. I'm not wired to go, 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 go. And I've had to work on not feeling guilty about it and work on not feeling like, oh, I'm being lazy because of it. And that's not always easy. But like, even, once a month, at least for the last year, I'm talking about, I have listened to my body because there are things within my cycle in those seasons where I do need to chill and I need to rest. I need like soup and dark chocolate and plenty of water, and I need to rest. But there are other times, like I said, if I do something, I'll do a lot of something, then I need to rest the next day. I don't think that, along with personal discernment, I also believe that we should not expect, because I think we do this consciously and often unconsciously, everyone to operate on the same frequency. I think because of the messages that we've gotten, we think we need to operate on the same frequency as somebody else who is go, go, go. And we admire that behavior. We're like, look at them. And yet, if we're not doing that thing, then what does that say about us? What does it say about how we feel about ourselves? Nobody wants to feel like they're lazy. Nobody wants to be labeled lazy or incompetent or just, whatever. Like, how could you just do nothing because I need to do nothing today? So that tomorrow I can be super productive. I can be very focused. I can get things done. That's what I need. You might need something different, and that's okay. Allowing other people to operate the frequency they're going to operate. And maybe you do think their frequency is lazy, and that's also up to them. Now, if it's something that is affecting you, then you have that conversation about it, right? Like, what's going on? It's not y'all. Y'all are not boring me. It's just I probably need to rest. I think that's kind of ironic that I yawned just there. But yeah, so the discernment piece for me comes in where I'm like, okay, I could do this thing. I could kind of push through. I do need to get up and do X, Y, and Z. I can't just sit on this couch all day. I might feel a little tired, a little fatigued, but it's not the same as like, oh, I had a full day yesterday and my body and my immune system is saying, sit your butt down, sit your tail down, put your laptop in the bed with you or your tab, figure it out, but sit your butt down. And also, I think that feeds into following my intuition, trusting in myself, pressing record on these YouTube videos when I don't have a script or anything of that nature to share, and trusting what comes out of my mouth. There's a lot of listening and trusting going on. When I think about my teens, my 20s, I wouldn't think about any of that. I was thinking about, how do I fit in the mold that I'm supposed to fit on? How do I fit in? How do I do the thing that people expect me to do? How do I lean more into the labels that I and other people have created for myself? Oh, I'm an A student. How do I continue to be an A student? Oh, I'm a New Yorker from the Bronx doing this. Then what does that mean? What are expectations that people have of me? I don't know. Just whatever it is, that's what I was doing. And I'm just in a season where I'm not doing that anymore on a more conscious level for the last several years, but it's still been a journey. The reality is, when we're not listening to our bodies, to our intuition, when we're pushing past and we have the discernment to say, I'm pushing past and I really need to sit down. I said yes that I was going to do these three things, and I really should have just said yes to one thing because I don't have it. I don't have the capacity. I'm not in the mental space for it. I'm not in the physical space for it. And I needed to say no. And I needed that to be a full stop and a complete sentence. And I needed to honor and respect my own no. When we don't do that and honor and respect our own no, or honor and respect what we need in that moment, that's the other side of that coin, is who's getting it? Who's getting it from us? Who's getting a lack of patience? Who's getting the snippiness? Who's getting the extra little snide remarks? Who's getting the frustrated sighs? People that are closest to us, the people that we love, our spouses, our kids, you know what I mean? Like, maybe a friend, if you talked to them that day and you had kind of an attitude. Because when we don't honor ourselves and our needs, it's going to come out in some way, shape, or form. That energy doesn't go anywhere. It's not like, okay, poof, it's gone. It's still there. And so for me, I am listening to myself, for myself, first and foremost, but also so that I can show up better in the relationships that matter to me. And so I'm curious if you feel like you're also in a season in which you are beginning to listen more to your needs, to honor and respect your no's when you need it, to have discernment around when you're when you should kind of push through and you need to push through, versus nope, you need to sit your tail down, like in all the gray areas in that. Are you in a season where you're working on that discernment? And I think that's the part that's continuous for me. And do you have some unconscious, maybe back here, expectation around that, the fact that we should all be functioning on a go, 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 hardworking, right? There are variations of that hardworking frequency. What does that look like? Are we performing what we feel like the opposite of lazy is? Like, these are the questions I feel like we should all be asking ourselves. But what season are you in when it comes to moving through those things? Those are my thoughts for today. That's what came up for me. It's something that I'm consciously aware of and actively striving towards because it's important. Because once I had the awareness of how important it is, then it had to become one of my priorities. I think if we leave this conversation with nothing else, it's how do we make that piece our priority? Is it important? It's an important piece. It's an important thing. So, hey, thank you for listening, for showing up, for having this conversation with my Imani Aisha. And I'm on here every day right now having conversation around how we can have more feel good relationship with self and with our partners and other relationships in our lives while we go through the changes and challenges and transitions of life. And I also share insights and thoughts and reflections in real time around the current change and transition that my husband and my family are going through, which is adjusting to life abroad. So if that's your jam, if that's your vibe, please subscribe. If you like this video, go ahead and give that thumbs up. If you want to have a little interesting conversation, share it in the group chat. And yeah, let me know your thoughts. What season are you in? Are you in a season like this? Is this something that you've thought about before? Let me know in the comments. Let's continue the conversation there. And thank you again. I appreciate your listening ear. I appreciate your time. I'm going to see you tomorrow.